What's up, maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling enthusiast. I am a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today, it is time for the SummerSlam predictions. We have a massive weekend of wrestling in front of us. This is one of the big four pay-per-views that we all look forward to. But I'm not alone. I'm not doing this alone. I teamed up with the good guys over at WrestHings. We are going to be chopping up the predictions for the show along with any possible angles that can come out of it. Big up WrestHings for joining me on this prediction show. Guys, make sure you follow them on all their social networks and subscribe to their YouTube channel. They do some brilliant stuff on their YouTube channel, WrestHings as well. And if you're new to this channel, please make sure you also subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a new video. And yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump into the prediction show, so I hope you enjoy it. What's up, maniacs? So like I said, we are going to get a SummerSlam prediction, and I'm not alone. Like I promised, I was going to bring some special guests, and these are two guys from a collective I have been enjoying online for the past year before I even started. Very happy to have the guys from WrestHings here. I know these guys have promos for intros, so I'm going to let you guys do your thing and introduce yourselves.
When I say guap, you say daddy guap.
Daddy.
Guap.
Daddy.
It's the strong star rating, leg drop hating, big back rubbing, Chris Jericho loving, son of a gun. It's your boy, Del Boy from WrestHings. You know the vibes.
Oof, and you know me, young lap straight out of the canteen. I'm still working on my promos, but we'll get there eventually. New to the WrestHings team. I'm ready to lay down this smackdown. You feel me?
Come on, we're getting there. We're getting there, laps. I've been watching the podcast, and each week it's like something new comes. We're getting there.
Get it there.
Brilliant. So yeah, it's a huge pleasure for you guys to come on with me here to kind of discuss the predictions for SummerSlam. I've been in the mood. I always get excited around the top four, big four, should I say, pay-per-view weekend. So yeah, I wanted to do some predictions, and let's just see how many of them come true, or if anything is going to pop up out of the ordinary from like an ordinary win. So we'll start from what would probably be the bottom of the card. Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. We got those two in a hair versus hair match. Del Boy, who do you think is going to win?
I mean, if you're asking on like a personal preference versus storyline, I mean, personal preference, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I want my babes, Mandy Rose, to win.
I said my babes, you know.
God forgive me if I bust my name. But I mean, in terms of like the story, I mean, Sonya has been built to like, bro, the way Sonya's been built, I'm not going to lie to you. Sonya is, and I feel like this breakup between them has been perfect for Sonya.
Yeah.
I feel like for time, she's just been riding Mandy's coattails. I feel like even when she first came in, she had the whole MMA kickboxer kind of gimmick. And I was like, for me, I was like, I'm not really feeling this because lo and behold, Shayna Baszler ended up coming and
coming past her.
I feel like she has more of a legit background. I'm sure Sonya Deville did do MMA at one point, but for me, it was kind of like Shayna Baszler, UFC, Sonya Deville, UFC commentator or backstage, whatever, like, we kind of know who we're going to root for.
Yeah.
They were doing the tag team, the Fire and Desire for some time, but obviously it seemed like Mandy was the one that was going to get the push. But then now, lo and behold, with the feud now happening, it seems like Sonya Deville has been the star. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously I personally want Mandy Rose, but in terms of progression of what I see happening, I do feel like Sonya Deville is going to be the one to take this. I feel Sonya Deville definitely.
What about you, Laps?
I've not really been too up to date with it. I only just found out about that matchup coming last week when Mandy Rose returned, innit? I think Mandy Rose is coming for it. I think she's coming for it.
I do think, well, firstly, I don't know any good guy that has ever lost a hair versus hair match, any face. It's usually the heel that always gets their hair cut.
Completely forgot it's hair versus hair.
Yeah, and I think Sonya Deville is going to look like a complete badass once her hair is cut.
Do you know who she'll look like if she gets her hair cut?
Who?
She'll look. Remember the Straight Edge Society? That woman.
The woman, yeah.
You know what? Mandy Rose.
Wasn't her name Sonya as well?
I think so. Yeah, I've changed my mind. Mandy Rose is going to win because I feel like if Sonya gets her hair cut, she's going to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. And I feel like even if Sonya loses, it's not going to take anything away from her.
Yeah.
Whereas with Mandy, I feel like the whole blonde hair, Mandy Rose is going to win.
Yeah, I think definitely Mandy Rose is going to win. And Sonya, the haircut is only really going to do her like better for what she's building right now. Like, as you said, she's kind of evolved into this kind of mad heel that's just moving crazy. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Moving on, we got the United States Championship. Apollo Crews coming in as champion, defending against MVP. This match was obviously meant to happen at Extreme Rules. And Apollo Crews didn't show up because Apollo Crews was injured. Really and truly, they said he had COVID and was recovering from that. So, Laps, who do you think here is going to be the winner?
Personally, I would love for MVP to win, you know. I don't know why.
Why do you say that?
You know, it's because he's got the Hurt Business behind him, and they need something. You feel me? I want MVP to win just for nostalgia as well, and just the fact that he is one of the greatest United States champion too. But we all know Apollo Crews is gonna win because this is just the Hurt Business is just there to make Apollo Crews look good. But I would want MVP to win.
Fair enough. Del, what are we saying?
Yeah, I feel like I'd echo the same sentiments in terms of MVP winning. I feel like...
you don't really want MVP to win like this.
Do it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like in terms of like... I feel like I've said this on my podcast at one point. In terms of like Raw's mid-card, there's no real like depth to it. It's like, at the moment, all I really see is Apollo and MVP. A lot of the people that should be in the mid-card, people like Cedric, people like Ricochet, like it's like the roster's bloated, but at the same time, what we're seeing on TV is like a very thin version of what we've got.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
As much as I'm very invested in Apollo Crews now, since he's like started to get a push, he's been speaking a lot more. He seems a lot more confident. Like his ring work has always been exceptional. That's one thing you can't take away from him. 100. I just feel like on the mic and on camera, he just seems very like happy-go-lucky. He's always smiling, and it's like I've never seen a Nigerian smile so much. I've never lied to you. I've never seen a Nigerian smile so much. Like you'd think he's Ghanaian the way he's just smiling all the time.
You know, like that.
You know them ones. And with MVP, it's like MVP's come back. Like when he first came back at Royal Rumble, and then he had his match on Raw against Rey Mysterio, I was thinking, okay. I mean, he's just gonna have that one match just so he can make his son happy because Rey Mysterio is his son's favorite wrestler.
Okay.
And obviously when he came back and he was having these little programs with like Drew. And just doing, and am I just thinking, this is like, I'm starting to remember why I loved MVP. Like the way he's a good in ring, but his mic work, he spoke with so much conviction. And even like this program of Apollo that he's been doing, the conviction, and for me, it's like, I feel like if he held that title, he'll bring so much more to it. So I want MVP to win. Will he win? Probably not. We need to keep Apollo strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So myself, I totally missed the majority, if not all, of MVP's first run. I think that was maybe 2008-ish?
I swear you missed
a bit before that.
So, yeah, maybe a bit earlier than that. Yeah, like 2006.
I saw him about, but like whether I was watching and I just turned off to him, like I don't know what it was. I just didn't like him. And then obviously when he came back in Royal Rumble, cool, had a match on SmackDown or Raw, sorry. I thought it was a one and done. I kept seeing, why is this guy about? Then I heard he was a producer in the back. I said, okay, cool, that's where he belongs. That's where they put the rest of the older talent. And then this guy started coming out on TV. Then he started talking, captivating me with each promo. Like, you know, he gave so much relevance to Apollo Crews, to Bobby Lashley. He just gave a whole new lease of life with that kind of, you know, why are you just sitting around here? You should be dominating and all that. And in all honesty, MVP has been probably the best thing on Raw, you know, since they have come to this performance center, this period in the last 4 or 5 months. He has been the best thing on Raw. Should he win the United States Championship? Probably not. I think Apollo Crews is going to retain. I don't think he gets anything out of it. It would be nice for him to circle back around to him, you know, the greatest US champion ever. But I think this is more of the biggest setup for Bobby Lashley probably winning the US championship from Apollo Crews. They are having that other pay-per-view Payback in a week's time after SummerSlam.
Yeah, I'm hearing this. Yeah, I'm so baffled by that.
I just don't even. Let's not even get into that.
Are they trying to compete with? Is there another pay-per-view happening around that period?
I think there is an AEW show next weekend as well. AEW schedules moved off Wednesdays because of NBA or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be on the Saturday when the AEW show is, but it's probably going to just to take some shine off them for the weekend. Probably that's why they're doing it. But yeah, whether Bobby Lashley should be winning, I don't think Bobby Lashley should be contending for the US Championship. I think he should be going for the main title.
I was even saying this on the earlier podcast as well, saying that even with that Shelton Benjamin, because I tuned into Raw, because I don't watch Raw. So I thought, you know what, let me just watch it. Let me see what's going on. I saw the Drew promo. I thought, okay, cool. Saw Retribution. I was like, okay. Then I saw Apollo versus Shelton Benjamin. And then I'm thinking, they've got man moving like nuns, yo. They've just got man moving. They've got man moving like a scrub. And it's like, fam. And for me, Shelton Benjamin's US title run was epic. Like him as the gold standard.
The gold standard.
Was amazing. So for me, it's like, I agree with you saying that they shouldn't have Bobby there. If they now use this as a platform to kind of move Shelton there, then I'll be grateful, because I'm not going to lie, this 24/7 title run, I don't know how I feel about it, because
they just
Shelton's not Nunzio. Shelton's not Chuck Palumbo. Like, we can't have man moving like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I agree with it. Bobby Lashley should be fighting for that title. He's had his title. He was IC title. He had that IC title. Was it last year? He's had his mid-card run. Yeah. Let's push him, because eventually we do want to see him versus Brock Lesnar. We do want to see him against Brock Lesnar one day. And then Bob Lashley's in the shape of his life. So
exactly.
And he's getting on. He's like 40 odd already.
Yeah.
Just a quick one, Laps. What do you think is Apollo Crews' ceiling? If he was to lose the US Championship this weekend, is this like the highest you think he can go? Do you think there's potential to be a world champion in there?
You know what? I don't know, because remember, this Apollo Crews that we're seeing, he's brand new. I feel like I want to see him a bit more, put in a bit more work in the mid-card, because he's not really been in the mid-card. He's only just got to it. Before he was lower mid-card.
That's fair, yeah.
So, this is a new position for him. I want to see him dominate it a bit more. Like, I don't want him to get a title run too quickly. Like, a couple more reigns with the US title, maybe Intercontinental title, that would be good. But I don't think he needs a world title push right about now, because like we're still getting used to his character, or his new character that he's portraying. And I still think they can push it even further as well. Just let him be himself. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, even with not just Apollo Crews, all the other wrestlers, they're kind of restricted in what they're able to do and what they can say. But when they're themselves, they're A1, they're perfect. Yeah.
There was, for those that didn't see, there was like a segment where Apollo Crews had to choose who his partners for the 6-man tag was going to be. He was going up against Hurt Business. He had to choose out of Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander, who were 2 of the 3 who was going to join him in the ring. And he didn't choose Cedric Alexander. And basically Cedric Alexander, he looked at first that he didn't take it too well, but looked like, okay, I understand your decision, sort of thing. Let's crack on. MVP obviously had a word in Cedric Alexander's ear, telling him, look, you've been left out. A couple of weeks ago, MVP also had a word in Cedric Alexander's ear saying that, you know, you're behind Ricochet. Ricochet's the one and only. What are you, sort of thing? You're just sitting in catering. Is there any chance here, Del Boy, that you think Cedric Alexander could get maybe involved in this match, in the finish of this match, maybe joining the Hurt Business or something like that?
I mean, the tagline is "You'll never see it coming," and I'm not gonna lie to you. If he does join, lowest of keys, we probably did see it coming, because I feel like since the beginning of like the whole pandemic era and MVP being in the Performance Center, we've seen seeds being dropped. Like we saw when Ricochet and Cedric were having matches against Shane Thorne and that.
Brandon Vink.
Brandon Vink. I don't know why I call him Vance. Brandon Vink. We kind of seen seeds being like. Obviously, he was siding with Shane Thorne and Brandon, but we saw that. Okay, cool. He obviously acknowledges that Cedric and Ricochet are talented. Yeah. There's obviously something there. but they're missing something. Maybe they need a change of attitude. Maybe they need a mouthpiece. So we've kind of seen it there. And can I see him in the Hurt Business? Yeah, definitely. He had a heel run in Ring of Honor maybe a few years before he joined the WWE.
Cedric.
And when I say his heel run was perfect.
Rah, I didn't even know that.
No bad attitude. This guy didn't want to chat to fans. It's like it was a decent heel run. And for me, it was kind of like I've always known Cedric to be that happy-go-lucky, playing himself, doing his scripts and all that. And as a heel, he had a sick feud against Roderick Strong, and I could see it. So, I could see it happening. I would love to see it happen because I'm not going to lie to you. Cedric versus Apollo would be
could be a sick match.
That would be a sick
feud. It's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what WWE are now starting to lack, and obviously because a few of their stars have left, we're now lacking on potential like fight forever feuds. Like, okay, we've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but I feel like we need another one of those. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it with Edge and Randy Orton. We need another one where, okay, cool, let's say the wrestlers do stay in WWE in like the next 6 or 7 years. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a big fan of like callbacks. So I like seeing matches where I can look at them like, yeah, this is something that happened from their first match or their third match. So, I mean, Apollo versus, what's it called? Apollo versus Cedric. Or even, it might even spark Cedric versus Ricochet.
Ricochet, yeah.
So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I would like to see it happen.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think that's going to be. I mean, the whole feud with Hurt Business and Apollo Crews has been really interesting anyway. So I think it's going to continue. Got to go to Payback. We might see Bobby Lashley get involved and have a title shot here afterwards. But it looks like you two got MVP to win. I think Apollo Crews is going to keep it. So we'll see come Sunday.
I think Apollo will take it, but in heart of hearts, I want
you want MVP to win.
I need to hear I'm coming at the end.
I'm coming. Cool. Okay, let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. We got the Street Profits coming in as champions, defending against Andrade and Angel Garza. Laps, what's your thoughts on who's going to walk out as tag team champions?
Andrade and Angel Garza. They need a title on the main roster. They are walking out with the tag team titles. They're good. Do you know why I say that? Because they're a new tag team within that division. Because the Raw tag team division has just been a bit stale, you feel me? But Andrade and Angel Garza together, yeah, they're a breath of fresh air. So they're definitely walking out with the World Tag Team titles. 100%.
I think that they've kind of got over the humps. A couple of weeks ago, they kept butting heads and stuff like that. Hasn't been happening so much now. So I think this might be their crowning. Del, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm a big Andrade guy. I'm a big
yes, likewise.
I'm a big Angel Garza guy. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Street Profits. Their reign so far has been decent. I don't know how else. I mean, when I say decent, it's been all right. But then when it came to like the Viking Raiders, and the whole cinematic match, I don't know. But I mean, it'd be nice for the belt to be on a team where now I can see them having serious matches. Like, I get the whole comedy, but I'm tired of it now, man. I don't even lie to you. It's getting ridiculous. And I was even seeing the other day, like even before I turned off Raw, and I saw them have Ivar, I think his name's Ivar now. Ivar, where he had the turkey leg. I think Angel threw it and then he levitated against him. Wait, this is like, do you not know who these men are? These are the
They're
war
not respecting them. Yeah, it's War Machine. That's it.
Man doing Jedi tricks. I was like, this tag team division is a joke. So I want Andrade and Angel Garza to win. I feel like Zelina and maybe Bianca Belair might play a part some way. I think Zelina might get involved and then Bianca might come out and that might start something and that might cause some sort of distraction. But yeah, hopefully Angel and Andrade.
What are you man's thoughts generally? I know you said it a bit there, your thoughts on the Street Profits. I think it's been touted for a long time that when a possible eventual split comes, that Montez Ford is going to be the star amongst them two. I think that's pretty obvious. I've watched Dawkins since he was in NXT. A very long road he's had before, he teamed up with Montez Ford and Street Profits came to life. If they were, we're talking in the future now, if they were to split, what, in terms of Dawkins for sure, where do you guys see him going? Like, how far can he go?
You know what? I think Montez Ford, he's got it all. You know, he can promo, he can wrestle. So, like, he's definitely going to go far. But I feel like Angelo Dawkins, he just needs to work a bit harder in finding his, like, identity. But I feel like once he has something solid, he's going to be very effective. Very effective. So Montez Ford, he'll go far. But Angelo Dawkins is going to be effective in whatever position he's put into. That's how I feel it is. And it just solely comes down to the character and position he finds himself with when that split eventually happens. Because I don't want it to be one of those, like, a Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels thing. I kind of feel they can be on the same level. It's just that one might have to work a bit harder than the other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like when it comes to like tag teams ending, I feel like at the back of my head, I always pray it's not a Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels thing. Because obviously, naturally, with most tag teams, you're always going to get one person that's better than the other.
The breakout star.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But with this one, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, when it comes to Angelo Dawkins, I actually don't know. Because like you, I've seen him from his beginnings in NXT. And it's like, him with Montez have been perfect. Yeah. And I know I shot myself. I mean, Versi as well. Versi shot himself in the foot with saying this as well. And I know Blacks is going to watch this and be like, yeah, I told you, man. Like, with Velveteen Dream, I looked at Velveteen as like the second coming of The Rock. Not in terms of wrestling, but in terms of like charisma.
Personality,
now,
yeah.
And I said, like, yeah, Velveteen is going to blow. But I mean, obviously now, a lot of things have happened. We don't know necessarily if that's the case. But with Montez, I can wholeheartedly say that guy is going to be like, even if the promo that he cut, I was just thinking he can be funny and he could also be serious. And his in-ring is, but with Andrew, it's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I feel like with black tag teams, there's always going to be a Booker T and a Stevie Ray. And it's like, yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I mean, one of the deciding factors for me is how close or how successful do they want to make these guys whilst the New Day are still active as well? Because, you know, with WWE, black wrestlers, black people, it's like there can't be too many at the top at the same time. So these guys are like already maybe 2-time tag team champions on Raw, definitely 1 time. Are they going to keep giving them title runs while the New Day are still ascending there? And it's like almost these are going to be the 2 most successful tag teams of this period, of this generation. I'm not too sure. I genuinely fear, if there's going to be a tag team split ever, I genuinely fear for Angelo Dawkins' career afterwards. Because I just can't see what they would do with him.
You know what? I think with regards to that tag team split, it'll probably happen like through a draft or something. Dawkins will most likely get sent to SmackDown. Montez is going to stay on Raw. But as I said, it's just Angelo Dawkins. He needs to find like his character. I believe he's got something. He just needs to find it. And once he finds it, he's going to be solid.
No, I definitely agree. And even as them as like a tag team, I feel like they've got so much to do before they even split, because there's no, like, with the Hardys, they had Edge and Christian, they had the Dudleys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With the Usos, they've got the New Day. They had Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. With Street Profits, I don't even want to put Viking Raiders in that category, but they haven't really got a tag team where it's like, when you look at them, that's their rival, and that's a team that they can have a barn going on. Well, they still need that.
Yeah, so, that's really true. And I think it's more obvious than any Street Profits split that Andrade and Garza will have flourishing singles careers, when it's all said and done.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, they're not going to be in a tag team for very long. So, yeah, they do need to find their worthy adversaries that are going to, help push their career forward as well. Did we all I think we all went for Andrade and Garza win, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Right, so moving on to the next match. So this match has captivated me in recent weeks. Eye for an eye thing, I wasn't really into. But ever since Dominik Mysterio has kind of come to the forefront whilst Ray has been recuperating at home, I've been so invested because this guy just reminds me of just any one of us. He looks like a fan that's just in the ring. Every time man's jumping into the ring in hoodies and Balenciagas, and it's just like, he looks just like he could be any one of us just living his like wrestling dream. Like, obviously he's the son of a legend. So we're going to have Seth Rollins and Dominik Mysterio in a street fight. Obviously Murphy's going to be ringside. Rey Mysterio is probably going to be ringside. Firstly, what did you lot think of the lashes that Dominik Mysterio held?
You know, he done it for a good cause. He done it for the WWE. He done it for their ratings.
I've never seen that. That's an initiation.
100%.
That's flogging. That's what they give to you in Nigeria when you misbehave from.
Big flog with a koboko stick, like
with koboko for a minute. So
they didn't spare him at all. Who do you guys think is going to win this match?
Do you want to go ahead, relax?
I think Seth Rollins is going to win this match, but Dominik Mysterio is going to get a lot of shine in this match because, as you know, we all identify with this kid because he said he's living out everyone's dream. Literally, even though he is the son of a legend, he is literally living out everyone's dream. He looks like a fan. He doesn't really look like a wrestler, but he's really competing against one of the top talents, and that's a dream match itself.
Yeah.
But overall, Rollins is definitely winning. I don't think they're going to let him lose to Dominik Mysterio because he's still got to prove himself, you know. So I don't think they're going to give him that kind of win yet. But it sets up, it's the seed, you know. Maybe 5-10 years down the line, we're going to see a rematch when Dominik's a bit older and bigger, and then, you know, we're going to see him wrestle Seth Rollins properly. But till then, Rollins got this one still.
Got it. Delbert, what do you think?
I feel like Seth is going to take this. For me, like I was saying even earlier in the podcast, I was saying, I'm interested in this match because I'm just interested to see Dominik's moveset. I'm trying to see, is he going to take inspiration from his dad? Is he going to take inspiration from Eddie? I mean, what's going to be the basis of like how he's going to wrestle in it? Obviously, Seth is going to carry the match. It's going to be I feel like it could be a good match. But like Laps was saying, I feel like it's going to plant seeds, but I'm not even thinking about maybe like 5 years down the line. I'm thinking maybe even later down the year, they might even make it a 2-on-2 match, Dominik and Rey versus Buddy and Seth, and then maybe that's when they get their win. So,
in my personal opinion, I think that's what they're going to do at Payback next week.
And I feel like that could work.
We'll probably get the tag team match, and that's where they might get their win. But yeah, I think Seth Rollins, he's going to win here. There's no chance Seth Rollins is going to lose to someone that's fighting in their first WWE match. And yeah, I think Dominik Mysterio kind of stood tall at the end of the show, so Seth Rollins has got some revenge to get in their match. Rumors have been swirling that Aleister Black is going to get some type of repackaging of some sort, and yeah, it's a crime. It's a total crime, but we move. And they are saying that there is a large chance that his repackaging is actually part joining this whole Messiah stuff and coming out. Obviously, he's been very much fighting Ray's corner, Dominik's corner in recent weeks when he's been on TV. But there are some sources that are saying that he is coming out to join Seth Rollins. What do you guys think about
that? Boy, I'm not even too sure about that one, you know, because I don't think Aleister Black should have lost to Seth Rollins. No, who was it? Buddy Murphy or Seth Rollins? Who did he face?
Probably Seth Rollins. He hasn't lost a lot of matches. I think Buddy Murphy's lost like 2 matches since he's been on the main roster.
Yeah.
But the problem is he's not having enough matches, but he's only lost like 2.
Yeah, I don't think Aleister Black should have lost his last match against them, one. I think his gimmick is perfect. I think it's cold. But if WWE feel they need to tweak it, okay, let's see what you come up with. I hope it's better than what we've been getting. But if he does also join Seth Rollins, that would be very interesting. So that's another faction within WWE. And I would like for it to be something that's long term. rather than it being short term if that's what happens.
I don't know how I feel. Like part of me is like, okay, let's see what happens, because I mean, we get the whole disciple. We could probably play something dark off it, but then at the same time, it's like I've always looked at Aleister Black as like the lone guy. Of course, he's going to help those who he wants to fend for, but in general, it's like he's that lone guy. I wouldn't expect him to. I mean, I don't know, because for me, I've always seen the payoff of the Seth Rollins and the disciples is that Buddy Murphy's the one that's going to break out and be the one to kind of like put an end to it.
Yeah.
So now having someone like Aleister Black, who's more or less on the same page as them in terms of like their matchups, it's like, how does that work? Because that means we're now going to get another Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black match, which, don't get me wrong, I love the matches, but
Bangers, yeah.
There's only so many of it that we're going to see. Like, we've seen it on SmackDown, we've seen it on Raw. Like, it's going to get boring, isn't it? We do want it, like, for me, I'm a big Buddy Murphy fan. I want to see Buddy Murphy versus Seth Rollins. I feel like if we're given a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes,
yeah,
who's to say that won't be match of the year? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think it's just a matter of just waiting and seeing what happens, isn't it? I personally don't want it to happen, but I mean, who knows? It could be. I wasn't too sure about the disciples in the first place, but then when it happened, I mean, I've been a fan of it.
Yeah, well, it's a rumor, so obviously come Sunday, I guess we'll see if it comes to fruition. I'm still kind of thinking long term, knowing that obviously Seth Rollins is having a kid come like December or that, around then. How are they going to bring this Messiah thing to an end? Because I guess he's going to be off TV for a bit. So I was thinking when I heard that rumor, is Aleister Black entering this thing to destroy it from within, maybe? That's how they're going to get Seth Rollins off TV in the next couple of months. But I guess we will see. But yeah, we're all looking forward to a Seth Rollins win here. So we'll crack on with the next match. We'll kind of discuss these two at once because I'm sure there's going to be some entanglement going on here. And I'm talking about the Women's Championship matches. We've got SmackDown Women's Championship on the line, Bayley coming in as champion versus Asuka. And then we've got the Raw Women's Championship match, Sasha Banks as champion facing Asuka. Del boy, let's start with you. What do you think is going to... How many titles do you think Asuka's going to walk out with? Let's start there.
Man said entanglements. Asuka or Cena. There is. I personally think there's going to be one. I feel like she's going to leave with one title.
Who's?
I think she may leave with Sasha Banks' title. I think for me, I was even saying this on the earlier podcast as well. The way I think they should have booked it is it's clear that soon we're going to start seeing the demise of Bayley and Sasha together. I mean, if I had my way, I would have booked for Sasha and Bayley to lose their tag team titles first before they now lose their women's titles. So I was thinking maybe what could possibly happen is, cool, Sasha versus Bayley will be the first title match of the night between them. Bayley and Asuka.
Yeah.
Sasha helps Bayley win. And then obviously later on during the night, when it's Sasha versus Asuka, Bayley tries to help, but she fails, and then Asuka now wins, and then that now starts the demise of them two. So, yeah, I feel like, I don't see her coming out of two. I feel like the whole double change thing is kind of like, we've seen it so many times now.
They've overdone it now.
They've overdone it. It's not even a special thing anymore. So, yeah, she has to at least come out with one. It wouldn't make sense for her to win a battle royal for her to now go face for two titles. She has to at least win one. So, yeah, I would like to see her win the Raw title. So I do want to see her eventually versus. I want to see her eventually against Shayna Baszler. So
that's going to be a good match whenever that happens.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with Del still. Asuka's coming out with one title because this is really just to set up Bayley versus Sasha Banks. It's just that they just need one title taken off of them, and then their feud can now go further in it. But yeah, Asuka's definitely walking out of Sasha Banks' title. Or maybe Bayley's, actually. In fact, no, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks, defo.
I think that... Sorry, go on, bro.
I think it depends on who the first matchup, you know. In fact, no. The last match. I feel like how it's going to turn out is someone's going to interfere and help whatever champion retain. And then in the second match, they're going to try to do the same thing. But Asuka's going to figure something out and then she's going to win. She's going to retain. I don't know.
So yeah, they said that Bayley is going to take on Asuka first and then Sasha's going to go afterwards.
Yeah, Sasha's definitely using her belt. Definitely.
I mean, obviously we were watching Raw for the best part of the last 5 years since, the Women's Revolution. Sasha's been on the main roster. And for those that know, Sasha has never defended the Raw Women's Championship. She has always lost the Raw Women's Championship on her first title defense, which would also be this one after beating Asuka for it officially. So, I mean, I would like to see that not be the case and to break that duck. But, yeah, I think Asuka has to win. If Asuka lost to both of them, she is absolutely done out here.
She's going back to where she started when she came back to the main roster.
I think if she loses to both of them, she has to go back to Japan. Like, she's literally done out here. Like, there'll be nothing left for her because I think they've messed her about in terms of championships too often, on the main roster anyway. Her NXT run as champion was obviously legendary. She gave up the belt because she was so good. But since main roster, like, every time she gets it, she drops it. And it's always by coincidence because they need it to put on someone else to tell another story. I think, yeah, they dare not let Asuka come back to Raw on Monday with no title. I think she'll win the Raw Women's Championship. Bayley will keep her SmackDown one, very much the same way that you guys have said. And I do think at Payback the following week, that's when they're probably going to lose the tag team championships. They've announced that they're having a tag team championship match. They haven't announced who it's against, so that WWE are probably just going to slap something together during the week. But I think, yeah, they will lose the tag team championships there, possibly. Just
who would you like it to be?
Fall apart. I really like the Iconics. I just like them as a team. I just think they're entertaining. They do a good job. If it's not them, I think it has to be someone completely unknown. Like, maybe put them on someone's pair in NXT and let NXT have them for a while. Like, I know Casey Catanzaro and what's her partner? The girl with the dreads.
I can't remember her name.
Laps, I think you're on mute.
My bad. Is it Lacey Evans?
No. Her name used to be Lacey Lane. It used to be Lacey Lane, but yeah, I think she changed it. But yeah, I think if they put it on someone NXT, just to do something different with the championship, that would be good. Obviously, we lost Becky, we lost Charlotte due to different reasons, nothing negative, but we've been overexposed, some have said, to Sasha and Bayley and Asuka. Like, what is you guys' opinion on just the women's divisions on both shows? Like, should this be involving a lot more other women, a lot more other talents, or are you happy with how it's been and the story that they've told with these three?
I don't like this triple threat rivalry. I'm not gonna lie,
I want it to be kind of mixed around with more people involved.
Even more people involved, or just keep it between two people, because it's like this rivalry is like a handicap and then a triple threat at the same time. Like, I'm confused and I don't really feel as invested. I feel either let Sasha Banks feud with someone else, let Bayley feud with someone else, you know what I'm saying? Just keep it separate. And plus, I don't like how the Raw title is mixed in with the SmackDown title. Like, it should be on two separate brands.
100, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got tag titles as well. So now it just makes it feel like there should only be one world title and one tag team title. I mean, there is one tag team, but it's like there should be one world title then. Why are you having two champions mixing together like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that even just creates, like, because I've always seen Raw versus SmackDown, so it's just like, okay, cool, you've got your Raw champion and your SmackDown. Granted, they're best friends. And more time than none, your Raw champion is not even on Raw. Like, they're not.
That's true.
They've come onto Raw, they've taken the title, and it's literally like SmackDown has just come and invaded. So even when they done the Battle Royal this past Friday, I was thinking, okay, cool, this is a good chance for someone like Bianca or Naomi or Shayna to come out and, fight Bayley. And then when Asuka won, and as much as I love Asuka, in my head I was thinking, is it again? How many times?
I was waiting for you to say that again.
How many times? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like WWE like to do this thing where they like to recreate these moments of like, this person beat this person and this person on the same night. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, granted, we're not possibly going to get that, but at the same time, it's like we've been like people like Naomi. Like Naomi is someone I want to see like
prosper and do well.
Prosper and do well. Just to be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that every time she's in the world title chase that win title, but at least be in that conversation. That her name should be amongst the people like Charlotte and Bayley and Sasha and Asuka and Shayna. Like these are your peers. You know what I'm saying? These are people that you're just as good as. You know what I'm saying? And if you're given time, if you gave Naomi 20 minutes with these people, she could have a complete barn burner with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just want her to be able to be in the mix, that someone that can leave the main title picture, but then be able to come back whenever they want, not have to scratch and claw and fight people like flipping Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans that, don't get me wrong, I used to like Lacey Evans, but she's shit, man.
Yeah, she is quite annoying. I think it says a lot that, we had the whole Divas era. And to my knowledge, the only people left standing are Naomi and Natalya. And even Natalia's, fantastic wrestler. Probably taught half these women, how to wrestle, behind the scenes and stuff like that. And it's like Naomi and Natalya just don't get a look in the title scenes so much these days. But they've been around the longest, and you've kept them around the longest. So, like, doesn't that, mean anything?
Doesn't that say something? Exactly.
Yeah, I don't want no pity championship runs. We don't need that. But, like, they definitely should be involved and in the mix. They should, at this stage, they're old, reliable hands that you should be using and utilizing well to at least elevate others at the very least.
That's true, because you see how WWE likes to use veterans for the men's brand. They better utilize the veterans for the women's division as well, because they're right there.
Yeah.
Even Tamina as well, the most underutilized superstar on that roster, and that's between both men and women's division. Tamina's the most underutilized, and like WWE just needs to have the same energy for the men's division in the women's side as well. They just need to hold the same energy. You literally have veterans right there that can really hold titles. Their names hold weight. Naomi's name holds weight. Natalya's name holds weight. Tamina's name still holds weight, in my opinion. WWE just need to utilize them more and stop having the division revolving around Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte. They're boring. They're boring now.
I mean, I won't lie. I've enjoyed what they've been doing. I think this was very much, when they lost the tag team championship. I think WrestleMania 35, and there was rumors of they had a stroke. They fell out with the company. I think Sasha Banks was on TV for like 4 or 5 months after that. Yeah. I think this is very much the run that they were planning to do then. Yeah. They're doing it now, especially because, like we say, Charlotte and Becky on TV. It's them panicking. They've hit the panic button because their big stars at the time aren't around. Let's rely on some other stars we have and just oversaturate with these guys. But
that's actually
even
very true what you said. The panicking, they're panicking.
That's it.
That's WWE thing. Even when you're talking about like them defending the tag team titles, as much as it won't make sense storyline wise, at some point they have to put the tag team titles on Tamina and Nia Jax. We need to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why they're not a team.
Why they have, the thing is, and when they first announced the title, I think they were a team together.
Yeah, Team Bad. Were they not?
I don't know if it's. I can't remember if it's Team Bad, but when they had, I think it was the Elimination Chamber match for the tag team titles, and that's where Sasha and Bayley won. Tamina and Nia Jax were pushed strong, and in my head, I'm thinking, this is complete money. You've got a roster full of small women. These are your biggest and your baddest women on the roster. There's no way they shouldn't be running roughshod on the whole roster, just bulldozing everyone. They could be the modern, as much as they're not as athletic. They could be the female Steiners, just run through the competition and just bat everyone. You know what I'm saying?
And for two people that a lot of people don't rate so much in the ring. If they were like a commodity together, they don't actually have to wrestle much. It's very much, I'm knocking you down, I'm gonna step on you to pin you, and the match is done. Who's next? But I don't know. It's they complain about they need to build new stars, and there's people there. Like we've spoke about Cedric, Ricochets, and stuff like that. That it's just like the whole roster's there, but they choose to use 10% of the roster instead of look at the wider picture.
They'd rather pay Goldberg $2 million a year to do 2 matches a year. Like it's
to drop people on their head.
Crazy, fam.
But yeah, it's I mean, they want to pay people to just keep them in WWE so they don't go to any competition, and that's what they're happy to do. So, but yeah, it looks like we all in agreement that Asuka is gonna probably pick up the Raw Women's Championship, and then we'll probably spin off in the next couple of weeks back into Bayley versus Sasha in loggerheads. So we're left with the 2 championship matches, the big ones. Let's talk about the Universal Championship first. We've got Braun Strowman coming in as champion to this one, and he's taking on the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. My prediction for this is the Fiend. I think they've been building to this for a very long time. Bray Wyatt's been doing his best to kind of get Braun back to where Braun needs to be. Even though the end goal is for him to win the title, I think they've done a good job, especially in last week. I think with now Braun shaved head, he's kind of going back to his monster beginnings. Del, who do you think is gonna win here?
Braun's title win has been 2-3 years too late.
100%.
It's been 2 years too late, and this whole feud. I mean, maybe I sound harsh, but because there's no crowd, maybe I should give him sort of like leeway. But I mean, there's no leeway coming from me. This has been one of the worst championship reigns I've ever seen in my life. I won't even lie to you. I found this reign so boring, and I'm just not invested in Braun Strowman. I feel like his reign has been so crap. The whole him and Bray Wyatt kind of thing is like, I don't get it. I get he used the black sheep or the black lamb or whatever, but it's like when he was part of the Wyatt family, he was really crap. There was no significance behind the mask. So him even showing the mask, like, I was your follower. That's literally all you were. You were a follower. You know what I'm saying? Undertaker didn't want to fight you at WrestleMania because you were trash. Brock Lesnar didn't want to program with you because you were trash. If he had won the title maybe like 2 years later, I would have understood, because that's when Braun was at his best. He was having sick matches. He was as over as hell, but he then became a comedy act. He was winning titles with 10-year-old boys. He just lost mad steam, you know what I'm saying? So the Fiend has to win, because the Fiend has been the most interesting character this whole year. Yeah. He has to win. For me, I can't watch SmackDown with Braun as champion. Like, I was happy that he beat Burr, because I'm thinking, you know what, credit to him, he finally won the title. But it's like the lesser of two evils. It's like voting between Brie and Trump. You just have to pick one, because either way you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? So the Fiend has to win. Sorry, Braun, but the Fiend has to win. And listen, and even just to make things interesting, if I don't drink in it, but if Braun Strowman wins, the next time we do this prediction, I'll do 3 shots live. I swear. Just to make things interesting.
You're not having it at all.
I can't have him win, because if he does, as good as my winnings, I will take 3 shots. not raise, but I'll take 3 shots of vodka or tequila or something. But I'll have the shot live with me. Pour down, I'll have it.
Yo,
Laps, what do you think?
Fam, Ray's walking out with the title, man, because his first run was cut short because they wanted to put it on Goldberg for the Roman Reigns match, but now that's unlikely to happen, they're just gonna slap it back on Bray Wyatt and just continue making his reign much more dominating than it was before. Because I don't know how long his first title reign was for. I think it was like a month or something, or a couple of weeks.
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, his first title reign with the Universal title.
It was a while still. Actually, no.
When did he win it? Because he lost it just before Mania to Goldberg.
Yeah.
Who did he beat for it?
He
beat Daniel Bryan for it. No. Who did he beat for the Universal title?
Wait.
Seth Rollins.
Nah.
No,
sure?
it wasn't Seth Rollins. It was who did he beat for it?
I think it was Seth Rollins.
It might have been Rollins. But then how did they change shows?
It was
Honestly,
Rollins. Remember, he came to SmackDown. So then he beat Rollins for the title. Then he came to SmackDown and he turned the title blue.
Okay.
And then he was feuding. I think he was feuding with people like Daniel Bryan.
He had
feuding with the Miz.
Yeah, with the Miz. Yeah.
Yeah. So he beat Seth Rollins for it. So it was a time because he beat him in Saudi Arabia. That was like,
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
That was because I was in the Bahamas at the time. That was in November.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they had it they had it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just under 6 months he had it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that reign wasn't dominant. It wasn't satisfying enough. Maybe because he lost it to Goldberg. I think it's because of that. But I mean, it'll be good to see the title back on him. So my money is definitely on the Fiend to win.
I think the Fiend should win, and Del Boy sentiment, he needs to save us from this Braun Strowman title reign because it has been poor. I think though that I don't see much value in the Fiend being champion. Like how well he's packaged and everything going for him. I think he's kind of above it. It's like somehow kind of like Undertaker status in terms of how Undertaker was almost above titles. And I wouldn't mind seeing some type of, because I thought this is what they were going to do first time round when Bray Wyatt took on the Fiend and then at Money in the Bank, and then he showed the mask and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't mind a situation where the Fiend is kind of like controlling Braun as his monster, doing like his dirty work for him, and maybe we can get something out of that. Because even I'm thinking, if the Fiend wins now, who's next on SmackDown, for that title, for that position?
Yeah, and that's one thing I said on the podcast a few weeks ago as well. Like, as much as Braun's reign has been shit, it's not necessarily his fault because the feuds that he's had I feel like with SmackDown, most of their best competitors are in the mid card. They're all chasing AJ Styles for the Intercontinental title. So when it comes to the main people fighting for the Universal, who is he faced? He's faced flipping the Miz and Morrison. I mean, to your credit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not expecting people like Matt Riddle or Drew Gulak to have great matches with Braun Strowman. You need someone that's kind of on that level in terms of impact and in terms of just their star power. So I mean,
I think SmackDown is desperate for Roman Reigns to come back.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. And I don't think no one would have ever imagined saying that. I honestly think I'm a fan of Roman. I've never kind of given into the abuse that he gets and all of that kind of stuff. I've always liked Roman Reigns. I know that they have done too much of him, which has led to fan backlash. Yeah. But SmackDown definitely need Roman.
They need him. It's like last year when Roman was away, I felt like I appreciated him more. He came back, loved him. But then I think the whole Baron Corbin feud is what kind of pissed me off. So I was like, I'm not really feeling this. But in general, it's because he's been away from the main events and whatnot, it's kind of giving me time to kind of enjoy his matches a bit more, kind of appreciate him, this guy's actually an amazing wrestler. It's sometimes when you force feed someone, it's kind of I don't want this because
I don't want to take it.
But then when you're actually enjoying them and when you're actually seeing them outside of being forced to do, it's oh wow, this guy's actually putting on amazing matches. He had amazing matches against Buddy Murphy, Daniel Bryan. He's had some sick matches. So now that, again, the roster is bloated, but at the same time, it's very thin of stars. Fam, we need him. We honestly need him. SmackDown is gagging for Roman Reigns.
100%.
I agree, but I feel like, you see Roman Reigns, I'm just a little bit critical about him because he needs to break away from the Shield attire, the Shield music.
That's it. I hate his attire.
That's the problem.
And I hate the Superman punch.
He needs to be his own character.
I hate the Superman punch.
Have you guys seen Roman Reigns do a promo without being unscripted?
Yeah, fam, he's a sick talker.
His best promo wasn't even in WWE. His best promo was for an NFL commercial. You know what I'm saying? they need to let Roman Reigns have his own character. Break away from the Shield. I don't want to hear the Shield music. I don't want to see the attire. I don't want to see the scripted promos. I want Roman Reigns to control his promo and create his own character. Then I'll like him. I like his wrestling. I just don't like his character.
I think they had an opportunity to do that upon his return from, being in remission and coming back. They had an opportunity to break those barriers and get him out of that stuff. They didn't take it. This is also now another opportunity to do all of that, rid all of that kind of stuff. Especially because, it's not even like the Shield can come back now, Dean Ambrose or John Moxley elsewhere. Like, give him something fresh. Like, the fans don't mind Roman. They buy into Roman. Just they don't buy into this Shield superhero guy. Like, Roman is a cool looking guy. Like, he looks cool. He looks like a wrestler. Like, just stop overdoing it and forcing him to do all of these kind of hero-esque stuff. The days of the John Cena and stuff is just dead.
He wasn't even the leader of the Shield. That's what makes it even worse. He was never the leader.
This is it. Like, aesthetically, he looks the best for what they want. Where they want to put him. But
when the Shield first started, he wasn't talking. He was quiet.
He had the least experience out of all of them. Yeah. He was following them, if anything.
Yeah.
He was just their muscle. But
and even that I have a problem with, because really and truly, Roman is not that much bigger than Seth. He's more or less the same height as all three of them, but in terms of like mass, he's not that much bigger than Seth. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the facade of like him being the muscle, it makes sense, but at the same time, you and Seth are more or less at the same.
I think it's because Seth positions himself as more of the athlete, the fitness guy, and all of that kind of stuff, the CrossFit stuff. So that's probably why. And obviously, a lot of times Seth looks more leaner than. I guess we don't see Roman because he's wearing this bulletproof vest thing.
Get that shit off, man. It pisses me off. Man's getting hit, and it's like you're saying, but you can't feel it, bro.
That's exactly it. Okay, let's move on to the last match, the big one, WWE Championship. We got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been moving mad on Raw. Like, this is legend killer Randy Orton, like, back in the flesh. Laps, who do you think is gonna win here?
Man, Randy Orton is taking that title home after he kicks Drew McIntyre in the head. He's taking it home. You see, we are back in 2009, where Randy Orton is kicking everyone's head. We never thought we'll see the punt again, but he's doing it. Yeah. I just want him to go bold again, so he's fully that Randy Orton from back then.
That nutcase.
But he's definitely winning the title, because I don't know if you've noticed, Ric Flair's 16 title reign. Randy Orton's close to it, and because Randy Orton's the only active wrestler, I think WWE want to push him to taking that record of winning the most world titles, because it was gonna be Cena, but it's just that he's Hollywood now, like, and he's already the biggest star in WWE. So I think it's only fair to give Randy Orton this world record so that he has his own accolades in it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Orton is definitely taking the title home, and this isn't going to be his only world title reign too. That's all I can say to that.
What do you think, Delway?
I'm torn, because the thing is, like, as much as a few people have said they haven't been rating Drew's reign, I've enjoyed it. I won't lie to you. I've enjoyed it. I think my only downfall is that there hasn't been a crowd.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a crowd at that Mania match between him and Brock. Imagine a crowd at that match between him and what's his name, Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
The Extreme Rules. Like, it would have been nuts. Oh, yeah, it would have been nuts. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, in general, I do feel like it's time for Randy to win the title. Like, for me, I want Drew to be a multi-time champion. So, I definitely think it's time to pull the trigger. It would be good to see them in a back and forth for the title. I'm torn saying that, but yeah, I think Randy is going to win.
I think Randy Orton wins, and they are definitely going to put the title back on Drew once they have a crowd.
Yeah.
I think this is very much probably. It looks like a backwards kind of compliment sort of situation, but I think it's very much rewarding Drew for carrying, the company in this respect at this time. So Randy Orton wins here. He's a heel. There's no need for a crowd in his demeanor because no one's supposed to, cheer for him. So he can come out and cut promos and walk back in silence. Like there's no rah-rah speeches with a heel. But I think, once they get a crowd, the inkling they can get crowds back, he'll put the title back on Drew. And he deserves that pop, because imagine your first world title after everything Drew McIntyre as well has been through. It's just in front of silence. The only thing that played afterwards was your music. That whole crowd. I'm just remembering back to the Royal Rumble when he eliminated Brock Lesnar. Bro, it's like he had won the Rumble at that point.
Bro, when you eliminated Brock, I said, this guy's won the Royal Rumble.
100%. 100%. Ricochet coming with the low blow, Claymore over the top rope. The whole place exploded. I think the only other pop after that was loud was Edge's return.
Yeah.
It was mad. Where does Randy Orton rank for you guys as like one of the top heels of all time?
Randy Orton, he's
top three, top
solid number one. Solid.
Solid number one.
Solid.
Over Vince McMahon.
Oh, okay. I would say wrestlers, Randy Orton is number one. Vince McMahon, he's the godfather. You know what I'm saying? He's a godfather. But I count him as a non-wrestler. But Randy Orton, number one. And then I'll put Edge in number two. But Randy Orton's one.
That's a shot.
One.
Randy's...
2009, Randy Orton was toxic.
Now, Randy, Randy's up there, especially when he went through that psychotic phase where he was feuding with Triple H and he was handcuffing, I think he handcuffed Triple H to the ropes, started kissing, he RKO'd Stephanie McMahon and kissed her. Then Triple H, fam, like that feud alone, I was just like, this nigga is a villain. What? In terms of heel, and the thing is that he's played different types of heels. He played like the cocky heel.
Yeah.
He's played the sadistic heel. He's had the legend killer. So it's like him being a heel has range. So I'll say he's definitely up there. I couldn't give a number, but I'll probably say he's top five. Yeah, I'll say he's top five.
I think, for me, comfortably top five, possibly top three. The only other person I really liked, Triple H, probably one of the best heels in the business as well. His run at the top of Evolution, them times, and Randy Orton was just coming through. It was just absolutely something else, like for me personally.
Even though he was a dickhead and booking himself.
Like 100%. But I guess that's all part of it, isn't it? Like it is what it is, sort of thing. But I think Randy Orton probably edges it in front of Triple H, which is even mad to think. But he's something else. When he's motivated, as they say, and he's got something to really sink his teeth into, I don't think there's anyone better than Randy Orton on his day as a heel.
No, facts, man.
So, but I mean, like you said, I've enjoyed Drew McIntyre's run as well. I think it is just a matter of, putting this back on him when there's crowds and stuff like that, whenever that would be. There are some circles saying that they might circle round to a Randy Orton Edge championship match, maybe at one of the big four, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, who knows. I personally don't want to see Edge win the championship. Like, I get frightened when I hear stuff like that, because I just feel it's another one of these. I know Edge will probably do a bit more work than a part-timer, but it's like, Bobby Lashley's there. like, let's start moving this thing around, some of these other guys that deserve it. Like, what do you guys think about if Edge was to come back and win the WWE championship?
If he was, I wouldn't want it to be against. I'm tired of Edge and Randy Orton. Like, after their match at Backlash, it's enough now.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
It's done. Let's move on. Let's let Edge fight other people. There's Edge versus AJ Styles, that could work. Edge versus Alistair, that could work. Edge versus Dolph, Edge versus Andrade, Edge versus Angel. Like, there's a plethora of superstars that could get a good match out of Edge and will even benefit from facing Edge.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, it's enough. You won your match. It's enough now. We're tired. So yeah, I mean, maybe later on down the line, I don't know. But for now, it's like work with people on the mid card. Like, you don't have to, like, fair enough, you're a legend, but you don't have to be at the top. Like,
At the top,
you've had your chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, work with the newcomers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, just put on good matches. Like,
yeah, that's it. That's all we need to do. Just have good matches.
To be honest, I don't want Edge to become a world champion, but you know Vince, he'll make him a world champion just for nostalgia. But nah, I agree with you though, boy. I want him to work with all the other talents like AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Cedric Alexander, just throw him in there, Apollo Crews. I want Edge to work with like all the people of this generation because we missed him for like 9 years, bro. I was 14 when he retired. I'm 23 now. You know what I'm saying? We missed him. So I need him to wrestle the superstars of this generation.
I hear that.
World title, he can compete for it and put on a good match for it, but I don't think he should win it.
I hear that. The amount of dream matches that we missed over the years, like him versus Daniel Bryan, him versus, did he ever face CM Punk? Actually, he did face CM Punk, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
But you get what I mean. There's bare people that we didn't get a chance. We didn't get to see him versus Roman. We didn't get to see him versus Seth. There's loads of people we need to get to see him go against. So, I mean, right now is the time to, like, you and Randy Orton have been wrestling for God knows how long. Like, it's enough now. You know what I'm saying? It's done. You know what I'm saying? Look for new ventures. Look for new people to think, you know what? Let me try and create moments with that people, because it's like there's only so many moments you can make with someone over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like it gets to a point where you're just gonna be spitting out the same match.
Yeah. Cool. One last question before we start wrapping up here. Obviously, we saw Randy Orton punt Ric Flair. Apparently, the lights went out. We didn't actually see it. Is there any chance that Ric Flair actually screws Drew McIntyre in this match? We didn't actually see this punt happen. The lights went out due to retribution. So, is there an opportunity? Drew has obviously ran down and defended Ric Flair's honor this past week on Raw, defended Ric Flair after the kick happened, the punt happened. Is Ric Flair and Randy Orton playing a game here?
Ooh, you know, that is a very good question, you know. I didn't think of it that way. You know, when the lights went out, I thought there was something wrong with my internet. So I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought something was wrong with my internet when it happened. So that's actually a shout. And
I was thinking because we didn't actually see the punt. 1, 2. There was a sound that happened, obviously to demonstrate the connection. But Randy Orton has gone on record a lot of times on Twitter making fun of NXT leg slapping wrestlers. So leg slapping at super kicks and stuff like that. So maybe I'm overthinking it, but
it's a shout. I can see it happening. Evolution is a mystery, as they always say.
He's the dirtiest player in the game. Like.
Exactly. And Randy Orton punting Ric Flair, it didn't really make sense to me. You feel me?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense. Like Triple H hasn't even gotten involved yet, so I think they might be in. They might be in on something. Ric Flair just might interfere. I don't know.
Well, it's just something I thought. Let me put it out there anyway. That it crossed my mind. Guys, we've come to the end of the predictions. It's been a really enjoyable show. I've enjoyed kind of chopping it up and seeing things from you guys' different perspectives and swapping opinions. We should definitely do this again sometime.
You have to, because listen, if the Fiend does not win, I will take 3 shots of whatever I have to take, because the Fiend has to win. I'm so sorry.
We'll be back here next week at Payback.
Oh yeah, Payback is even sooner. We'll be back, because listen, I don't want to drink, but this is what I have to do if we don't win.
I think the importance dropping it.
He has to.
Cool. Guys, thank you very much for being on the show. One time for everyone tuned in, if you just want to drop your socials and all of that kind of stuff for WrestThings.
You can follow us at WrestThings on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Bebo. Find us everywhere, fam. I go by the name of Delboy. You can find me at Delboy X Tweets. on Twitter and Guap Daddy Dell on Instagram.
Laps.
This nigga stroking his hair, fam.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at the Laps 316. You know, that's a playoff on Austin 316. So you can find me on Instagram, the Laps 316. You know, shout out the WrestHINGS man them.
We got WrestleManiac 10 times, man.
Yeah, boys, it's been
like that.
great to have you on, and we'll definitely catch up soon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Big up the man them over there at WrestHINGS, Del Boy and Laps that joined me on the show. Big up the rest of the WrestHINGS team as well. Guys, like I said, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Follow them on social networks. I'll put all their information down below in the description. They're doing some great stuff. And you heard the predictions. We are unanimous that Asuka is going to walk out with at least one title. We are unanimous thinking that Randy Orton is going to become the WWE champion. But we want to hear from you now. Put down below in the comments who you think are going to win some of the matchups. Like I say, make sure you follow WrestHINGS on all social networks and their YouTube channel. And if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.